For weeks now, I have been lamenting the fact that the Seattle City Council elections are coming up, and common sense voters had nobody to really vote for. Well, that has changed because after an announcement on Mother's Day, Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives have reached out to me and said, do you know that Olga Sagan is running for office? She's running for Seattle City Council. The woman from Piroshki, she's running. We finally have somebody to vote for. One of the left-wing activists, somebody who has common sense approaches. And she joins us now on the KVI studio line. Olga Sagan, welcome back to the show.
That's like the most amazing beginning
I'll
of
tell
the
you.
show right here. I'm here. Thank you for having me.
I'll tell you, I meant every single word of it. The amount of people who are excited about it. And Olga, I'm not one of these people who's only friends with one side of the political aisle. I got friends. A doctor friend of mine texted me yesterday, and he said, the woman from Piroshki's running. I can't believe it. That's awesome. Great news. You have this support.
So can I teach you something?
Yes.
When someone calls you that, you tell them she needs $10. Donate $10 to her. That's what you tell them. That's what your answer has to be. We need donations.
You got it, Olga. I will make one myself. I got to check my contract, see if I'm allowed to. I got to check the fine print of those things.
Allowed to, but it's between $10 and $300, and $10 is a small ask. But you know, it's only 8,000 people that need to give me $10 right now.
And you can win. You can win. I'll tell you, Olga, the thing I loved, not just what you've been talking about, how you've been calling out Seattle's insanity, but this note with your kids that you posted on Mother's Day, how this whole decision was family oriented. Tell our listeners about it.
Oh my God, I'm going to start crying. I can't do it. So, okay, I will do a little bit. I'm not going to go with what it says. They can go to my website, olga4seattle.com, to read the full letter. But what happened was, I've been thinking about it for like 5 months now, and I'm Russian, I'm woman, I'm all those insecurities are just like creeping in, right? And then my daughter comes up like, Mom, you are incredible. Seattle will be lucky to have you. And I'm like, really? She goes, yeah. And you know, she's a teenager. She doesn't say stuff like that. So. And then I'm like, why don't you write down for me? Why do you think I should run? 20 minutes later, she brings me this letter, and I'm reading it, and I started to freaking cry. And then I go back to my Russian pessimistic way. I'm like, do you want a car or something? Why are you giving me this letter? She's like, Mom, this is what I really, really feel and think. And that letter was absolutely incredible. Did you read it yet?
I read the letter that you posted. Oh, yeah. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, Olga's running for office. I had the same reaction as my friends did. I was so excited. Olga, I got to tell you, first of all, congratulations. But also, you're a person who has always spoken truth to power. I mean, when Seattle said we're going to have this urban renewal downtown, you said, great, I'm on board, and I'm going to open a new store down there. And then shortly after, you had to close it because the crime was so bad. And then when you felt you could reopen it, you did so. I think somebody like that who could speak truth to power is a step above anybody, even before we discuss your policies.
Okay. I will do, I usually put, if I say something, I try to do my best at doing it. I don't just say things. That's why I thought I'm not qualified to be a politician. But hey, let's try it.
Well, I'll tell you, everybody I know is supporting you. So tell me, what are the things that are going to be your focus when you win that seat on the Seattle City Council?
Ari, can I be very transparent with you?
Absolutely.
And ask you a huge favor? So last 5 months, I've been trying to figure this out, and it was a really, really big decision. And I feel and I know how bad things are, but what I didn't do yet, and I'm going to be doing it right now, very, very hard, is educating myself. Because I know when I go to politicians and I ask them questions, you know what they tell me? It's not my department. It's county. It's state. It's them. It's Puget Sound Energy, whatever. And I don't want to be one of those politicians. So for that, I really want to educate myself, and I really want to make sure I will answer correctly within things that I, as a councilwoman, can achieve. If you now ask me about what I can do for businesses, I will give you answer like nobody else's business. But I still need to do a really good job at educating myself, trying really, really hard in a very short time to really know what can I do, what is within my power, and what can I do besides saying obvious, safety and, going back to basics. Let's bring lighting in. But I want to know more. I want to see what I can really do, and I would never want to answer to a person, this is not my department.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. I'll tell you why. You're going to go to forums, and they're going to have forums where they ask you all these questions and all the other candidates you're running against, and they're going to talk like they're a kid running for school president. And they're going to say, I'm going to put man on Mars when I get elected to the Seattle City Council. We're going to make sure that we can do this with Afghanistan. And when I get elected to the Seattle City Council, we're going to stop climate change. And they can't do any of it. They lie.
I don't want to be that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be that. So for business, I know free stuff that doesn't cost any money right now. I know problems that there's grandfathered in issues with King County and Seattle that we can work with and stop right now for small businesses to come back. So there's a lot of things I know I can fix, and it's boring, so I'm not going to bore you with that. But there's a lot of things I know what we can fix for small businesses, small restaurants without spending a penny. I know that. But everything else, I'm going to go and I'm going to educate myself like nobody else's business.
I love it. I love it. It's fantastic. And when you say you're going to do something, you do it. When you said you were closing your shop, you did it. When you said you were opening your shop, you did it. So the question is, when you say you're running for office, it shows you don't have confidence in the person currently holding that position. And Andrew Lewis is seeking another term in office, and he's got to be scared right now because until now he hasn't had a real challenger. So have you had any conversations with him? Has he made any promises that he failed to deliver on to you?
That's a very good question, Ari, and I love how you go straight for the answers. I will tell you that, and again, this is me being honest and transparent. I will tell you that I had, remember all my interviews, how I was banging my head against the wall to try to talk to my elected officials and they wouldn't answer my phone calls?
Yeah.
When Lewis found out that I might be running, it's all changed. So Lewis is only available to people when he wants to be available. And that's not a good thing. I feel as a public servant, you needed to be available to people when they need you, not when you need them.
That's excellent. So, Olga, can I get a pledge from you right now that when you win that city council seat, when we want to have you on the show for interviews, unlike some other people who are on the council right now, you'll say, sure, Ari, I'd love to come on your show. Let's work out a time.
Can I check first if I'm allowed to do that as a councilwoman?
Absolutely. I'll tell you that you are. But yes, I appreciate you.
If you're telling me that I am, yes, Ari, I will be there and I will talk about stuff and I will say things that I mean. If I have to check what you're telling me, I always check when people tell me things. But if my position allows that, absolutely.
I love it. Now, Olga, for full transparency, can I have your entire recipe booklet for full transparency with our audience?
No.
Okay. Just making sure you're going to stand on principle at the same time you're going for full transparency. I absolutely love it. Olga, if people want to donate those $10, what's the best way for them to do so? In fact, if they want to donate the $300 or $700 or whatever the max limit is, how do they do that? How do they learn more about you?
What's important is they have to do it now. They have to pull up their phones now. And they have to go to olgaforseattle.com, click donate, and give $10. But they have to do it now while they're listening to you and feeling passionate about the change.
I love it. I love it. Olga Sagan, my pick should be yours. I don't even care who else is in the race. This is the person you should be voting for in District 7 in the Seattle City Council elections. Give her $10, give her $300, whatever it is, because this is the person we need in office. Olga Sagan, City Council candidate and owner of Piroshki. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Ari. Thank you. And I will talk more with you as soon as I get all my research done. How about that?
Sounds like a plan. I love it. I'm going to hold you to that too, but I know I won't have to because you'll do it on your own.
You should hold me to that. And you have a right to do so. Thank you so much.